noise.
Too late. We're making noise. Hey, Facebook. Told you I'd be here tonight. I was going to do this outside, but it's such a pretty day that we got a few workers out there with chainsaws and everything else, which is not going to work well for us tonight. Can you adjust this light a little bit? And I'll tell you when to...
Turn it up?
Yeah, turn it. Just keep moving it a little bit and turn it kind of like that way. No, too much.
Hold on.
There's something...
Let me get on the thing and I can see.
No, there's a little weird artifact in the camera.
I want to see it right there on your forehead.
Right there on my forehead. It looks like I bumped my head on a door. Hi, everybody. Hi, Leia. Everybody's here. See, I've got you backward now. My guitar's backward to you, so that I can actually see your posts and actually say hi when you show up. I'm sorry about today. I will apologize in advance. You're on the bus. Okay, that's fine. We're all on the bus. I don't know where this bus is going, but we're all on it. May just have to... Oh, there we go. That kind of takes rid of it, but then it gets... Yeah. Let's see. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm at a funny angle. Nope. What if I turn this way? Let's see if that helps at all. No, not really. Well, kind of. Kind of does. Kind of doesn't. Or maybe I should move it the other way. We're having fun here. Oh, definitely wrong. Just trying to figure out what to do with this weird little red artifact that I can't figure out where it's coming from.
Oh.
Yeah, turn off the overheads and see what happens.
Ah.
Just see what happens with those lights. It may just be that one weird little red light that we've got. That would do it. Look at that. Okay. That
good.
fixes it. Ha! I'm shiny. That's why it's happening. Okay. Shiny. Ooh, shiny. Yeah. The fairy said I was.
Oh, that's it. That's
Yep.
a good picture.
That is a good picture. I'm liking this. Hi, guys. All right. So now that we've got the lighting figured out. And yeah, there's an echo in here. Sansy's turning off her volume so that she can answer you guys back. Because I can only answer what I read, and I can't always read things while I'm playing. So she'll be able to talk to you back and forth from her phone. So yeah, here we are. We're all here tonight. I've been trying all week. I'll be honest, I've been trying all week long to cheer myself up and get myself in a better mood, and it's just not been possible. I'm just gonna... Last week I did a request of everybody else requesting, and I think you just hit like and send and hearts and stuff. I really don't know. You have to figure that one out. I don't know Facebook that well, but yeah, I tried earlier this week to cheer myself up, and doing requests last week, I decided I would do my own requests this weekend. I think we can all agree this has been a pretty rough week in the world. I mean, it starts with Memorial Day. On Memorial Day, when we are supposed to be celebrating the commitment and basically the life commitment of fallen soldiers who defend this country and defend our rights and our ethics. We're supposed to be celebrating them that day. And instead, we are inundated with information about a fallen citizen of America whose rights and ethics were completely violated. What is with that? What is with that? So yeah, the mood is tense and angry everywhere. And we need to look at that, and we need to figure out what's going on. And I've been doing a lot of reading on Facebook. A couple of my friends are out there posting. One of my fellow musicians was posting about George Floyd and saying, that Black Lives Matter. And somebody else fired in with All Lives Matter. And that started a thread, which I thought was very interesting. Because when we use those little catchphrases, they are short words They are meant to be something that you can hold on to and remember, but they are usually symbols of something much, much bigger than those three words put together. And after doing some reading and thinking about it, I realized, yeah, when we use these catchphrases, what we're talking about is something much deeper. And the term Black Lives Matter is about racism and prejudice. And the thing about prejudice, like my Buddhist brother says, prejudice is pre-judgment. Pre-judgment. Now, that means before you have any chance to act or do anything, you make a thought process. And that is your prejudgment. Prejudgment is a very basic animal instinct. It is designed for us to be able to protect ourselves in moments of threat. So it is our first and, fired off animal thought. We pride ourselves in being smarter and better than the animals. And we do this because we say, we've got a choice. We can choose our actions. We can choose how we want to look at something and perceive it. So when you get prejudice, you have to understand, all of us are going to have it. All of us. We were raised with it. No matter what family we're in, we've got prejudices about something. Sugar being fattening. Things like that. They are facts, yes. But it's those thoughts that follow, the judgments that follow those facts, that are the problem. And when we have judgments that are trained into us and bred into us, we never quite get rid of them. We have to fight every single day to step out of those, because they really aren't servicing us at all, especially in a world where there are so many options, there are so many things, there is so much diversity. I've been thinking about this a lot, and I hope I don't get myself in trouble, because I'm very passionate and I sometimes talk without thinking. I'm doing my best today. But, this musician brought this up, and everybody was like, no, when somebody says Black Lives Matter and somebody else fires off All Lives Matter, it kind of doesn't really fit the point of the statement. Because the point of the statement is, these particular people are not acknowledged equally to the others. And that's why it matters. That's why it's important. It's important to understand that people that are the common, the majority, they're comfortable. They aren't in threat, because, I'm like that, really. Even as a transgender male, I'm white. I pretty much can walk into anywhere I want. Nobody gives me nothing, no trouble. And I've been pulled over by cops before, and they've taken one look at me, patted me on the head, said I was some daft old fart with glasses, and sent me on my way. That doesn't happen for other kinds of people. For other people that look enough different, that it fires off that prejudgment that people are instilled with from the beginning. And so we really have to work hard, at, when we say, oh, I'm not prejudiced. I'm not racist. Think carefully. What is your very, very, very first thought when you see something different than you? What is your reaction? Do you feel fear? Do you think this isn't safe? Do you twitch at all in any way? And think about, why are you doing that? Do you know this person? Do you know and guarantee that that's how they're going to behave? Chances are you don't. And chances are you cannot guarantee that that's how they're going to behave. And I'll tell you one thing, white people are just as dangerous, if not more. Because you're going to not look at them twice if you're white. You're going to say, hey, you're one of me. I got nothing to worry about from you. Huh. Those are the ones you got to watch your back on most. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to bring up today, is that we need to be careful. We need to be thinking what our first reactions are and really looking at them, being honest and saying, yeah, I do have this problem. I mean, I was raised from an English family. My mother was born in Charing Cross, London. My grandmother was born within the sound of Bow Bells, makes her Cockney. And I was raised with stories of World War II and the U-boats coming up the Thames River, and it would be over every dead Englishman's body that Germany would take England. And I grew to hate Germans. I'd never met one. When I toured to Germany, I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. I was going to the enemy territory. And then I found out that by trying to speak their language, this was from my companion who I was traveling with, trying our best to speak their language and just trying to communicate, these people were wonderful people. They weren't monsters. They weren't trying to eat my babies. But this was here. And yeah, we're all scared. Right now, with this darn stupid COVID thing, everybody's scared. And we're all feeling threatened. And so when somebody says, well, what about me? What about my needs? You immediately, it's easy. I shouldn't say immediately, but it is very easy to think, well, what about my needs? How about me? Who's listening to me? And I'll tell you right now, I just did this stupid trick last night with my girlfriend. We had a little row, and she was scared about something, and she said something, and it triggered off one of my problems. It triggered off a situation where both of us have come from very dysfunctional, abusive relationships. And we basically, to make a small story even shorter, we ended up being exactly like our exes and doing the same thing that our exes did to each other. And it was all because we were feeling threatened. And we couldn't step out of that fear far enough to say, oh God, I'm really sorry. This isn't right. This isn't what I meant to do. This isn't helping the situation. This isn't getting my communication across to you clearly. And that's all it was last night. Much to say, after a little bit of excitement and row, we ended up going to sleep in each other's arms, as we should. But it was tough. It really was tough. We're not bad. No, you guys, I'm talking to the choir here pretty much. I believe you. I figure you guys are, I'm preaching to the choir here. Most of you are good folk, and most of you believe in what I believe in, or you wouldn't like my music. But I'm aware that this is a public post. I think it's a public post on Facebook. And hopefully it'll get out there to perfect strangers. Because we need everybody to be on board with this. We are in a very changing time right now. And we need to be paying attention to where our weaknesses are. And we have to... I met we Germans. I know you're not bad people. You guys are fantastic. You have bailed my butt out so many times when I'm over there performing and something goes wrong and you can fix anything. I'll tell you, you guys are brilliant. But you can even fix me, and I'm not easy to fix, I'll tell you. But yeah, no, I'm just trying to vent and get a little noise out there and get people to start recognizing that this is not about who matters and who doesn't matter and all that. It's about being able to look at yourself and look at the other person and listen to them above yourself. Listen to their fears above yours. That's ultimately, in all the fairy tales that I talk about, the heroes, that's what the real heroes are doing. They are just as scared. They are just as triggered. They are just as twitchy and shaky as anybody. But they're putting that low enough that they can get above it and go do something right for somebody else or something else. I mean, that's what all of our essential workers are doing right now. They're terrified. You see these people that are serving you or taking care of you at the doctors or something like that. They've got their masks and their goggles on. They're very good. They're pretty much being professional. They're doing their thing. What you don't see is when they go home and they shake and they cry and they throw up and things like that. Those are heroes. That's why they're heroes. You don't see that kind of thing. It's only maybe their family that sees it, maybe not, because maybe they're not even going home to their families. Maybe they're staying away to keep everybody safe. So I'm just trying to make a little noise and get people to pay attention and realize, yes, it is all about each one of us and what we're doing for everybody else. That's what it's about. It's not about what they're doing to us. It's what are we doing to them? What are we allowing to go on? What are we putting up with or turning a blind eye to, not saying anything about, not doing anything about, giving it to somebody else, making it someone else's problem, or denying that it exists at all? Because, well, you know, it's a conspiracy theory. They're just making stuff up. People are hurt. And if people are hurt, they're hurt. And it's real. It doesn't matter what you think. It's real. And if you don't honor that, nothing's going to get fixed. Nothing's going to get done. Anyway, that's going to be my rant. I'm going to try and stay out of it. But I got some songs for you that are specifically for a rant. So there you go. And we're going to start with a really obvious one. Gather round, my friends, to me. Advice I have for you. It stems from my experience, and I swear that it is true. We're all meant for adventure. There's paths where we must go. In light of my last journey, there are some things you need to know. All of us are tempted. All of us will fail. The trick is learning right from wrong and letting good prevail. We all can have the power now of darkness to command. But what would happen to your soul if you will that upon your hand? 'Cause it's easy to be careless, easy not to think, easy just to vanish in a blink, denouncing your reality. Such a simple thing, a harmless habit, much as putting on a golden ring. You wear it closely to your heart, as if from a heavy chain. It shreds the soul to many a part, and you're never quite the same. Don't ever heed its beck and call, its hatred and its ire. And if you love this world at all, return it to its forging fire. But it's easy to be careless, easy not to think, easy just to vanish in a blink, denouncing your reality. Such a simple thing, a harmless habit, much as putting on a golden ring. Now you've listened to my thoughts. Pray keep them in your mind. Someday it might seem easier to be cruel or unkind. Remember some of what I've said, for when the moment's through, of danger done by darkness, the bearer then might well be you. 'Cause it's easy to be careless, easy not to think, easy just to vanish in a blink. Denouncing your reality, such a simple thing, a harmless habit, much as putting on that precious ring. Oh, it really is that easy. Let's try. Let's all really try not to forget to double check ourselves with those knee-jerk reactions and think before we do something that we will regret. I got another one for you. I wrote this 10 years ago when they were spilling oil out in the middle of the ocean, setting it on fire. It's sad that after 10 years, a whole decade, it can still be applicable. What are we doing when our ears plugged in sound? We cancel out nature and the world all around. What are we doing with our eyes filled with light from a screen on a table that dims stars in the night? We take what we want from this life, but what have we returned? Our skies have been blackened by smoke, and our oceans are burned. Our mountains are flattened and broken from above and below. Great words of concern have been spoken, but very few deeds of true love have we to show. What are we doing with the tales we are told? We talk and we worry and invest in pure gold. What are we doing when we choose not to mask? Do we then infect others who just don't even ask? We take what we want from this life, but what have we returned? Our skies are now blackened by smoke, and our oceans are burned. Our mountains are flattened and broken from above and below. Great words of concern have been spoken, but very few deeds of true love have we to show. What are we doing when our words fill the air? We boost up our ratings. Does it prove that we care? What are we doing when we kneel down to pray? Do we beg for God's mercy and yet not change our way? We take what we want from this life, but what have we returned? Our skies are now blackened by smoke, and our oceans are burned. Our mountains are flattened and broken from above and below. Great words of concern have been spoken, but very few deeds of true love have we to show. What are we doing with our cities so tall, our laws so extending, and our hearts still so small? What are we doing for the person we see? Do we crank up our earphones and turn on that TV? Our birds die of oil, our fish die of air, our waters are poisoned, our forests laid bare, but we still wear our crystals and play on bent knee, and we still gladly kill you when you disagree. We've got what we want from this life, but what have we returned? Our skies are now blackened by smoke, and our oceans are burned. Our mountains are flattened and broken from above and below. Great words of concern have been spoken, but very few deeds of true love have we to show. What are we doing? What are we doing? Yes, I did change one or two lines in the song. I thought it was important. It's my right as a songwriter. I can do that. But, yeah. Just trying to make people think. Now, I did have one request this week, which I was going to take. You know, when people say, I'm in a world load of hurt, how big is that world? Have you really thought about it? I think the idea is to try and make the world as big as you can when you say that phrase, because it'll help change your perception a little bit, and make you recognize that, yeah, detail-wise, you probably are all by yourself on a situation, but on a greater perspective, there are others that are just as much hurting and in trouble as you. And if nothing else, you can give them some compassion. Yeah, I mean, I'm very lucky. I really am. I'm not in that much of a world of hurt. You know, life's a pain in the butt because of COVID. Who isn't having a pain in the butt because of COVID right now? So that's pretty standard. But one of my little pit bull pups, she's 2, little Gwendolyn. She developed what we thought was an allergy to foods, and so we started getting her a special single protein food, and it stopped her breaking out in these bumps on her body and itching all over. Well, this one bump started showing up on her hip, and it was something bigger and not going away like the others. So I took her into the vet, and the vet's concerned. We don't know what it is. I'm waiting for the test results now. But, she's a child. She's my kid. And she's Sancy's kid. And, we treat them like that. And they're very precious. Just because they're animals, doesn't mean that they're anything less than us. They are little living creatures, and they feel and they think. They may not think as advanced as we do, but they do think a lot. I mean, my kids are darn smart. And so I don't let anybody tell me that animals are just dumb things. Quite the opposite. I tend to say that I see more dumb people than I see dumb animals. But so this is a song written by just a very smart animal, little Jack Russell. He was my Jack Russell. I am not making this up. He wrote this song, and how I tell you how that happens is I needed to write a song like this, and I couldn't come up with the words. So I took my little Jack Russell and I sat him on my lap, and I said, Tycho, I need to think like you. I need to feel like you. I need to be you, so that I can write this song. Because this is from an animal's perspective. This is from a cat's perspective and a dog's perspective. And any animal that offers kindness and camaraderie to a human, there's a bond there. There's a trust and a commitment that these animals make to us. And so he really did write the song. It was somewhat understated, but very powerful in its choices of words. And that's him. That's who he was. So I did not write that. He wrote that. And I had somebody request that song today because they are in a place that they have to say goodbye to their favorite loved one. So, sorry. I've done it too many times. I know how it feels. So, and I'm sure most of you probably have experienced this at some point. So, one thing I should add, with grief, there is a blessing in it. And you need to remember that. You need to find that blessing, because grief is a symbol of the power that life has for us. And so when you're worried about losing somebody, that is a celebration of how much you love them. And so when you're grieving, it's yes, there's a loss, but only in the sense where you're not going to be able to personally express that to them in a corporeal form. That love that you feel, that will always be there. That will never leave. And the love that you've received back from this individual will never leave your heart either. It will always be there. And so I'm a very, very big believer in energy lasting long, long, long past a corporeal form. So just something to think about. And hold all your loved ones close. Celebrate every day you have with them. I can feel your heart burning with tears that you hide. I will walk without turning, ever close by your side. I will guard you at night and alert you to harm, and will snuggle up tight just to keep us both warm. Lay your hand on my head as the firelight dies, and believe what I've said, for this love never lies. I'll inspire you to laugh, I'll release you to cry. I'm the strong, silent half of what we unify. I will give you my heart if you give me your hand, and it's never will part. Whilst beside you I stand, lay your hand on my head as the firelight dies, and believe what I have said, for this love never lies. If it's courage you seek, I am yours to command. I don't outwardly speak, but I still understand. Through your joy and your strife, I'll attempt any task. I will lay down my life. All you need to do is ask. Lay your hand on my head as the firelight dies, and believe what I've said, for this love never lies. Lay your hand on my head as the firelight dies, and believe what I've said, for this love never lies. All right. I see you out there, Dogwood. How you doing? I was reading your threads too earlier today, and I appreciate it. There is a strength also, not in just ranting like I'm doing today, but there's a strength in being able to be respectfully silent when you know that you can't really offer anything of use to a situation because it's not yours. What you can offer is compassion, and you can offer assistance in any way to that person or that cause, and keeping a respectful understanding that there are things that you are defending that you have never experienced is a good idea. It really is important to keep it in a proper perspective. So thank you guys for the ones that are out there making all the noise and the not noise. I'm watching and I'm learning and I'm listening because, yeah, like I said, I am not free of guilt here. I do it a lot. I really do. I've got some things I got to get over from my last marriage. I twitch at certain people that look like somebody else or say something like that other person said to me, and I will twitch, and I will get violently ill, and I will think, oh, I'm not going to go anywhere near that person. I could be wrong. They might be saying it, and they may not mean it in that way. And I have to check that out before I act on that prejudgment, that prejudice. So, just pay attention to ourselves and know what you're up against, and what you're up against is in here. It's your biggest danger is right here. So, speaking of the biggest danger being inside, I will close because I've got allergies today, and my leg's giving me a pain. I will tell you one positive thing. I am completely off my opioids now. Yeah, it does suck. PTSD, relationship PTSD does really suck. Yeah, trust me, I'm still getting over mine. I will have a syringe if I get said the right things to at the right time. But anyway, I'm getting off all of the opioids. I'm completely off of them. I haven't even really touched a lot of cannabis, even though it's legal in Washington and the rest of you. But no, I am happily free of any fogginess in my mind for that. But it means that I've got a few little things like, pains and adjustments to my new kneecaps. And one of them is still a problem with the sciatica. So I can't sit here for very long without it starting to hurt. And it's starting to hurt right now. So I'll leave you with one song. But this song actually came from I did a song from this world and realm last concert last week, from the realm of canticles and the realm of ages is the world that Matthew Maurice has created. And his Facebook page or his web page now. His web page is down for right now, and I don't know why. I have to ask him about it. But he does have a Facebook page. If you look under Canticles, you'll find his Facebook page, and it'll have stuff from the realm that he's created. And one of the things he's done with his realm is the realm has a constant, ongoing battle. The rise of the light and the fall of the light into the dark, and then the rise of the dark and the fall of the dark into the light. This is a constant cycle. And it appears in 6-7 generations of people and cultures. And his world just keeps doing this over and over again. And in one of these ages, the battle of light and dark is very close and very equally balanced. And there's a character in it who is from the shadow realm. And he knows he's from the shadow realm, and there's only going to be so much he can do because it is who he is. He is shadow realm. He will be a certain existence. But he chooses at one point to say, okay, the light has become just as dark as the dark. They're doing just as many awful things as they accuse us of doing. And so I think the best thing to do here is balance it by doing something right. Even though I'm dark, I will do the right thing, since the right thing seems to be the wrong thing by everybody else. So he makes a stand. And when I wrote this for Matthew, I had intended it to be about the character in the book and, all that was going on. And at that time, our government did some really stupid things that I wasn't very pleased with. And I kind of let a little bit of that leak into my song, because that's what we do as songwriters. We can't help ourselves. We grab our little pieces of truth and we stick them in our songs because that's what we're supposed to do. So this song has a little more reality than I intended for a fantasy song. But, and I don't normally play it on guitar, but I'm going to try it tonight because it seemed like the right thing to do. So, there she goes. Yeah, thank you, Kathy. CanticlesProductions.com. Is it still working, though? Because when I tried that last time, it wasn't working. But hopefully it's working now. She would know because she's on board with Matthew. They're doing some music now, since I've been kind of on a hiatus with all my craziness in my world. So here you go. All I have to do is try. Nothing can take hope from me. Every day is fight or die. But that's how life is supposed to be. No one promised easy ways. All of us must do our part. In spite of how deception plays, the truth is mirrored in my heart. The brightest light makes the sharpest dawn. I knew that would get it right. The brightest light casts the sharpest. I'm so confused. I've been singing this for 3 days. You'd think I'd get it right. There we go. I'll just start from the top, shall I? It makes it much better. All I have to do is try. Nothing can take hope from me. Every day is fight or die. But that's how life is supposed to be. No one promised easy ways. All of us must do our part. In spite of how deception plays. The truth is mirrored in my heart. The brightest light makes the darkest dawn. Brightest light makes the shadows strong. The deepest night cuts the sharpest dawn. When the passion rises and the shadows call, when you fall short, I will stand tall. I will fight for what I need. I will yield if there's no harm. Each heart has a different creed. The difference should not cause alarm. Each of us walks our own path. Everyone will slip and fall. What matters is the aftermath. What's done by one is felt by all. The brightest light makes the shadows strong. The deepest night cuts the sharpest dawn. When the passion rises and the shadows call, when you fall short, I will stand tall. Of life in my heart is known. The end relies on how it's begun. Against your foe is against your own. When your right is wrong, it cannot be undone. The brightest light makes the shadows strong. The deepest night cuts the sharpest dawn. When the passion rises and the shadows call, when you fall short, I will stand tall. Every day's a fight for me, and that's how life is supposed to be. When the passion rises and the shadows call, when you fall short, I will stand tall. Whether I was right or not. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you all, guys, for coming out and putting up with me tonight. I don't get in these moods too often, but when I do, I have to be honest about it. It's part of the reason why I don't really want to be a big, famous entertainer. I want to be able to have the right that when it's not a nice day, I don't want to smile and take a drink and slam it and put myself in a bad mood and say, no, it's really okay. There's no problem here. Off in the show. The show must go on. Because if our art can't reflect and teach us about our realities, then it's just a diversion. It's just a cheat, a way to run away. And taking time out is good, but running away is not. Running away has never really served anything except a brief relief if you know you're going to get completely slaughtered and you need to take some time out and recoup and then go back in the night and sneak back and attack them. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I relish my freedom as a performer, and I am very honored and very touched that you guys support that, and you support the freedom that I have to be willful and do my shows the way I want to do them and make mistakes and everything else that I do. Bless your souls, every one of you. And when you're out there doing your thing, and people give you crap about wearing masks and doing stuff like that, all you have to do is give your mask a little teeth and make sure that they understand that you're not doing this because you're weak, and you're not doing this because you believe in some conspiracy theory, or that you're being, controlled by, the dark web or whatever they want to call it. You're doing this because you care about them, and you care about everyone around you, And if you want to make America great again, it's caring for your fellow man. That's what does it. So, yeah. Show mankind. And, you know, yeah. Show people that are hurting. They matter. Personally, they matter. Black lives matter. And all the others that are hurting matter. Because if you're not hurting, it's your job as a human being in this world, I think. You should help out those people and make it so that they aren't hurting anymore. So, thank you guys. Thank you for, like I said, putting up with me. I love you all, every one of you, and I miss you so much in person. But it'll come. It'll come. And until then, we still have Facebook. So I'll talk to you guys some other time. Be good to yourselves. Wash your hands. Wear your masks. Stay safe.